It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I want to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each one of you listeners. And if you cannot hear it in my voice, you should, but I am just overly excited today to have with me a brand new diva, Ley-Anne Mountain, and she is going to speak about how animals companion our heart to guide us through the journey of grief, loss, and death. And oh my, this is something we all deal with. So, Ley-Anne, could I please have you introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Sure. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, everybody, too. I'm very excited to be here, too. My name is Ley-Anne, and we are located in central Alberta in Canada, and we're enjoying a beautiful fall right now before the snow hits us. And I've been a holistic natural health practitioner with craniosacral therapy and reflexology for quite a few years now. And everything that we do is all really held in a hug of our animals with our animal-assisted learning programs and our animal team.
How I love that. How it's your animal team and everything you do is with that team. They are with you. They're the ones that are helping you in this journey to help others. Oh, I love that, how you call them your team. That is incredible.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think they do. I just get to help them, I think, more than they know, or they help me. Mm-hmm. Sorry, they're the leaders. I'm their co-facilitator and follow their lead because they're pretty amazing.
Oh, yes, they are. Definitely. I always kid my husband and I say, yep, our animals are with us. They're our managers here today, and now we'll do the work, and they can manage on how to do it and give us direction.
That is very true.
And they're all very helpful. I just love it. And they bring so much into our lives. It is just amazing. I always say they're not just in my life. They are my life, because that's what they bring into me, is my life. And they just bring the energy and the vibrations, and I just love it. They are just incredible.
I 100% agree.
Well, as we kind of go to our topic on how animals companion our heart to guide us through the journey, the sad times, basically, is what I'm going to kind of call it, too, because the grief, loss, and death, it is sad times. So how, with your training and with your animal team, how do you help others deal with some of the sadness in their life to cope better?
We have a few of our team members. So out at the farm, we have our horses, and then we have our dog as well. So there's two pieces to that. Our therapy dog passed away in April this year. But he was an amazing sniffer of tears. And it didn't matter how quiet you cried or somebody cried and tried to hide that sadness. He just totally knew and would come from anywhere in the house to find that person and be with them. So like that alone was pretty magical, and now that he's passed on, he's still here in spirit. And now we have a puppy who is kind of enjoying her puppyhood right now while she's learning about life. So, and she's the cuddliest. She's got a cute factor, so it's pretty hard to resist when she comes into the room with what she brings. So that, and then we also have a big bunny team. So I've been teaching in schools a mindfulness wellness program to children, and we bring in our bunnies. And our bunnies are not little, so our bunnies are anywhere between 15 to 18 pounds, being the Flemish giants, and so they're pretty substantial when they hop into the classroom. And so they're our team of animals, and being small, they're portable, so we can bring them with us wherever we go. And how they help is, oh my goodness, they just know. They're in their heart, and they just know, and they don't judge us. They will just be with us. And I think that is the biggest gift, is sometimes as humans we forget how to just be with instead of fixing.
Oh, animals are their true selves, and like you said, they don't judge us. They don't care what we look like that day. They don't care if we're like, I know in schools a lot there's peer pressure. They love each one of us. They're not looking at the peer pressure or the little things that us humans seem to nit and pick on one another. They love us unconditionally. And if we could only follow their example, I always say what a beautiful world this would be.
It would be, and that's not only nitpicking at each other's, but we're pretty good at nitpicking at our own selves, and so that's, they help us to. They're just very accepting.
Yes. I hear you completely. I mean, I know I have 3 horses, and one of them, he is a kisser. And a lot of times I'll come up, even at the fence, and there he stands. I say, "What you need, Gray?" And he comes up and he just kisses you. And then he walks away. He's like, "Okay, I gave you my kiss of love now. Now I'm off and going again." And it's just a feeling from them animals that it just brings the energy that they give you, and knowing that they love you unconditionally. And I think that is just incredible. And do you find that unconditional love with them something very important in helping people to heal and go on their journey through the sadness they deal with in life?
I do. The unconditional piece is, when I think of it, it's just this big, free-flowing heart. And like you just said with Gray, he can just come up and give you a kiss and then be done. So it's all of maybe 3 seconds of that time that he's given, and then he's given it to you, you fill up, and then he walks away with no expectations. I would have a horse that would be like, "Yeah, I'll give you a kiss for a cookie." So their personalities all differ so much with that, and unconditional. There isn't a whole lot of examples, I think, in our world, and that are as gentle as an animal can be with us in our heart. And they're such a good reminder.
Oh, that they definitely are. I have a red heeler, which anybody that looks at my robust lifestyles will see my dog, because he is just, I tell everybody, he knows me better than anybody else. And we can look in each other's eyes and just, we know what we're thinking. It's just unbelievable how they're just in your heart, and they understand you, and they don't expect everything like a lot of times adults do, or humans do. They don't expect anything, just your love and concern for them. And it is just beautiful.
Well, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, they don't have an expectation the way that us humans put on our own self. They just are the way they are, and and you just deal with it. So, yeah, they don't have to make excuses or anything for the way that they are, and I think that that's a nice lesson for us to see too. They have their personality, and they are a dog or they are a rabbit, and everything that comes with that species. And so we are a human, and we have a whole lot of stuff that comes with being human.
Yes.
And it's okay.
It's all right, definitely. That's part of our makeup, and when we can find tools that can help us deal with different things, like moving through the sadness, like we've talked about, what a great way to be able to help others. I'm sure what you do is very rewarding, to be able to see, like going into the classrooms and doing these mindfulness and wellness classes with the children. What a rewarding feeling it must be to see them relate to them not little bunnies, to your big bunnies.
We had one experience, and I kind of owe a lot of our grief and loss and death programming to our bunny Potter. So we had a team, and it was Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, and we are pretty big Harry Potter fans here. And Potter was retired, so we mainly taught grade 4 classrooms, and the one morning, Potter was retired. However, Ron and his buddy Apollo still went to see the grade 4 kids, and we knew Potter was old, and we knew that his moment was coming at any time, and he was happy and eating and healthy. He is just old. And I went out to pack up the bunnies the one morning to head to grade 4 class, and Potter had passed early in the morning. And it was actually that sort of like, I don't know what the word would be, like opened up everything, where as we sat in the grade 4s, I lost my marbles a little bit and had quite an upsetting morning. And my husband, I phoned and I told him Potter passed, and he said, "You need to go to the class anyway. You need to go. They need you, and go." So thank goodness tears do slow down, and we are able to sometimes breathe our way back to, being in the moment. And we packed up Ron and his rabbit friend and went to school. And it was there. I had 4 grade 4 classrooms, actually. So we had over 100 students that we were teaching over the course of the week. And when we sit, we do in our program, we teach techniques on keeping ourselves healthy. So we do breathing and mindfulness tools. And we had practiced those. But that day, our whole class plan went out the window, and we sit in a circle around the bunnies, and that's how we have our bunny time. And I shared the news of Potter's passing, and I was still pretty teary. And then in our circle, we talked about if we had ever lost somebody or something that we loved. And I was so surprised that every bunny, every child, every teacher by the age of grade 4, like 8 years old or so, 9, we had all lost. Every single human in there had lost someone or a pet. And we talked about it. There was siblings, there was grandmas and parents and fish, and there was so much. And I didn't really realize how, just by that tender age in grade 4, that death and loss is already quite experienced. And so it was that conversation, and the kids, the joy and the tears and all of the support that came out when we were sharing about who we lost. And the friend said, I didn't know that you lost your sister, or I didn't know that your grandma had passed away. So it was just so beautiful to see so much support. And kids get it. They're so beautiful when it comes to having an opportunity to talk from their heart. And that's what our bunnies do. They help them with their hearts.
Right. Oh, what a beautiful story. And I'm sure it helped you, because that's just what you needed to hear in that moment from what you had just gone through that morning. And it helped each one of the children, because sometimes maybe as adults we kind of overlook that they're dealing with it also, and sometimes the children don't quite show it. They show it in a different way. And so being able like that, and what a beautiful way that each one of the other children were consoling the others and giving their comfort and love to them when the truth all came out. That is beautiful also. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, but we don't have to hide it. That's the beautiful part of it, is it's not something that we have to hide. We're a pretty grief phobic society, and there's room for this. It's normal, it's healthy, and it doesn't just go away in an hour or 3 days. And I just really think that we have to teach and honor and talk about this, because if something is alive, it's going to die, and that is the season, and that is the way it is. So let's embrace that and talk about that.
Oh, yes. Well, and just like what you said, and also sadness comes in different ways. Maybe some of the kids have experienced having to move from one school to another, or some big life change in their life has happened that has maybe just changed everything that they were used to, or they had to move from one neighborhood to another and find all new friends. I mean, that is, it's, to me, it's sadness, just in different ways, that as if we can share it with others, to me it's a growing journey rather than so much of a setback. You can learn and grow from it when you share it with others.
And it's that whole thing that we're not alone in this, and that is perfect. Different kinds of loss, whether it is a move from a home or a school. The pandemic has set, I don't even know, the high jump for loss, and it was kind of within my own family. Our kids are older, high school. Our daughter graduated this past June, and you want to talk about loss when grade 12 kids are trying to head out into the world, and colleges and school is shut down, and grad. And even from a parent's perspective, we had to watch it on our TV, which, I'm being very honest, I cried for the whole thing because we weren't there to scream and yell and cheer and jump. So our kids right now, and they're adults, but kids, this pandemic has really, really made a whole new world of loss for them with sports and friends and like visiting grandmas and grandpas. So yeah. So you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of losses.
Yes, there is. It comes in all different forms and all different ways, just like you said, even with the graduation and just all different things, the sports, and even like the ones that are going on to college. There's activities they haven't been able to participate in and different things like that because of the pandemic. So it's all, sadness comes in all different forms. True it is. Definitely. Well, I have to ask, Ley-Anne, how did you become so passionate about this, about helping others deal with the sadness in their lives? Was there a moment that happened that made you feel that this was your passion and this is where you needed to be in order to work with your team and help others?
Yeah, it's kind of been a lifelong journey. I've had animals my whole life and graduated and went to college for my Animal Health Technology Diploma. So I've always been with animals. But when I was 16, I got my first horse, and I worked my butt off to get him. And his name was Cougar. So he didn't, to me, I didn't get enough time. I got him as just about a 2-year-old, and then he passed away when he was 10. So everything that I do is because of him. So in his life, he went to college with me. He was it. He was everything. And then in 2000, he died, actually. He had an injury. It was a freak accident, and died. We had to we did everything. We did surgery and everything, but he did end up being euthanized. And it was in his life that the program was created for what he taught me. And in his death, trying to heal myself with his death, I found craniosacral therapy, and I ended up becoming a craniosacral therapist because it helped me so much. So, I said I crash landed into a safe space in which I found craniosacral therapy and animals and nature. So that was always a go-to automatically. See, I can't even think of the word because it's just so normal.
Oh, wow. So it was really your horse Cougar that led you on this journey. Oh, that is just beautiful. And I want to share with our listeners, and we'll be sure and post your website, but just go to her website under My Story, and you will see the love and the happiness that they shared, because it's in their eyes in the picture on there. It is breathtaking. It is absolutely beautiful. So, oh, how beautiful. That's just incredible. Yes, and I understand what you're saying. That was a short period of time for him to be with you, but he was, I always say they're put there for a reason, and he lives with you in spirit, and he's everywhere you go.
He is. Thank you, Joyce. Yeah, he's there. He's just, it's that kind of like the sunshine. He's automatically there.
Definitely. Well, you mentioned craniosacral therapy. I might not have. Can you explain just kind of little brief explanation of what that means to our listeners? With some maybe going, what is that exactly?
Yes. So the scientific version of it, our craniosacral system is the membranes that surround our brain and our spinal cord. And so within that membrane is our spinal fluid. And the emptying and filling within this membrane system is what creates a craniosacral rhythm. And so that's our body is doing this, whether we're thinking about it or not, and it nourishes our central nervous system, our brain, and so that's then it creates this rhythm. So the craniosacral therapist listens very gently with their hands to listening stations on the body. And if there is a restriction or just like a restriction or an injury, just something that may be off, that is how our body guides the therapist to that spot and says, hey, come and work on this knee over here, just because maybe the rhythm was a little bit slower or a little bit quieter. And so that's how we're guided. So it's what Dr. Upledger, he's through the Upledger Institute, is where I took my training. He called our inner physician, our body wisdom, and like our higher self, so that the body knows, and our inner physician helps guide as well. So my job is to listen to what your body is saying and allow the story within that injury or that part of the body to be told, to be heard and listened to. And then you and your body and your inner physician, you get to do the releasing in your own way, or the rewriting of that event or the story. So it can be a physical injury, emotional. It's all connected, all mushed up into one. So it's a beautiful light touch modality that allows the body to facilitate its own healing. I'm just a co-facilitator. Yeah.
Oh, that was a great explanation. I bet we could do almost a whole show on it, and reflexology, talking about experiences that you've had with different people. Oh, that is beautiful. Wow, that is awesome.
Yes, and at the farm here, sorry, Joyce, I interrupted.
No, you're fine.
At the farm, we do, like our animals are also involved in the craniosacral therapy session. So you do lay on a table, a massage table, you leave your clothes on, and my cat, my Junie, will join in, and Amigo used to. The puppy is still in training. Otherwise, eventually she'll be able to control her happiness and be in the room. And we do it with our horses as well. So we'll set up our massage table out in the pasture, and the horses become a part of the therapy. They're the therapists as well.
Oh my goodness, girl, that is just beautiful. Oh, I'm envisioning that right now, and I'm going, oh, what a relaxing and feel-good environment. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, Ley-Anne, I knew this interview would absolutely fly by, and it has. It is, oh my goodness. This was just such incredible information that you have shared about your life and what you do. And I'm going to ask you, as fast as this went, will you please return where we can chat so much more? I don't think I hardly touched on one or two items that I was going to chat with you about today.
I would love to. I would love to. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Oh, I just want to thank you so much for being my guest today. And I'm going to tell the listeners, they heard it too, that Ley-Anne will be back. Maybe in December we can bring you back on and we can chat about some more things of your experience with all of your teammates. I love it. It was just beautiful.
Well, thank you. My face hurts from smiling almost, so thank you. Because it's fun to think about all the critters and people, and there's a lot of good stuff out there in our world.
Yes, there is. Oh, yes. Oh, what a beautiful phrase to end. I love that, Ley-Anne. Well, I want to tell you to have an absolutely beautiful day until we chat again on Robust Lifestyles.
Thank you so much, and to you as well.
Oh, you are so welcome, and thanks right back at you. And I do want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in to this absolutely amazing interview with our incredible new diva, Ley-Anne Mountain. And she said she will be back, so in December, be sure and watching for her return on Robust Lifestyles. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have an absolutely magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals that big extra hug and share all your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.